Hey guys, Steve Calabrese here. Today I'll be walking you through our big idea here at LA University. Our big idea is really pretty simple. Our big idea is to call attention to and rid loan officers of this insanity that most of us live through on a daily basis. I believe the standard in mortgage is just really low in every department. Our lead intake, our marketing, our recruiting, operations, delegation, every part of this business is screwed up. And in this video, I explain what I'm doing to fix it. And just a heads up, a lot of LOs don't really like what I have to say. So if you're just ecstatic about your income and your systems, cool. Close your browser, unfollow me, we can part ways. You do not need me. But if you've had this gut feeling that something just isn't right in your mortgage business, this is for you. Let's get right into it. There is no question of what brings in loans. We know what brings in loans. Being with agents, hosting events, showcasing who you are to real estate agents. Real estate agent facing stuff. That is always what has brought in loans, and AI is not replacing that anytime soon. Now, a lot has changed since COVID for sure. Notice you aren't just calling up a top producing realtor and expecting to get a coffee date or expecting to get a referral anymore. But the principle hasn't changed. LOs need to build relationships with realtors. That's it. It's the number one thing that brings in loans. Realtor relationships. It always has been, and it's not going to not be that anytime soon. Now, in any other industry, the sales guy, loan officers, are expected to be out and about bringing in deals all day long. Yet, loan officers spend 98% of their life staring at a computer screen or doing admin work, working on loans. And then they wonder why they have no loans. Loan officers don't have any loans because they're spending 98% of their day doing the activities that have nothing to do with bringing in loans. This is business 101. Ideally, this is what you'd be spending your time on as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. 80% of the time you would spend on doing the single most important task in your business. That is very clearly real estate agent facing activities in mortgage. 10% of the time you would spend on designing your business, 8% would be spent on delegating the outcome of tasks, and 2% would be spent on deciding on which tasks to actually do next. Now, this is an LO time mix chart. Half the time, loan officers spend on doing something that has nothing to do with bringing in loans, and the other half of the time, loan officers spend deciding on what the heck to actually do next. Should I send this realtor a thank you card? Should I call this realtor? Should I turn this loan into processing? Should I refresh my email? 49% of the time, loan officers spend deciding what to do. Realistically, loan officers spend about 2% of their time on business development, realtor relationships, growing their business. And 0% of the time, loan officers spend on delegating because most loan officers are control freaks and delegate nothing to anyone. Obviously, these graphs are very different, but the idea is that LOs should be spending about 80% of their day on realtor relationships. And most LOs spend about 2% on that. So what do they actually spend their time doing? That 2% of the time, what are they actually doing? Most loan officers are spending that 2% of the time on very shallow marketing, very shallow relationships. Calling up an annoying realtors and asking them how their weekend went, calling realtors up and asking them for business, sending a spam text from a CRM to a bunch of realtors who don't have their number saved, making an Instagram reel about a loan program that every other loan officer offers. The 2% of the time that loan officers spend on marketing, they spend it on doing things that make them look like everyone else. That's not business development. And the insane thing is, everyone knows with marketing, you need to stand out. Yet loan officers have been tricked into doing the exact opposite with their marketing. See, we all have access to the same rates, the same loan programs, the same tech, the same 10-day CTCs, the same scripted Instagram reels about 2-1 buy downs. We all have the same stuff now, and realtors, good realtors know that. In 2024, the last thing you want to look like is just another average LO. It's a death sentence. When your primary marketing is your product, and your product is something that everyone else has, and the market goes through a major shift like we just had, you're really going to struggle. Then when an LO finally does get a lead, what do? He usually jots the lead's name down on a notepad, calls them back maybe once, then usually never speaks to them again if they don't immediately fill out a loan application. That is the standard follow-up in mortgage. In any other industry, the salesperson would be trained to put that lead into a CRM, and that lead would be followed up with accordingly. Whether it be through automation or manual follow-up, it would get done. I have audited hundreds of loan officer systems. It is a rarity for a loan officer to follow up with his leads. Even the top LOs have this problem. I know a $100 million a year producer who told me 6 months ago at the beginning of 2024, Steve, last year we counted 216 people in 1 year that were pre-approved with us, that we had their documents, we had their loan application, and they closed with another lender because we didn't call them back. How does that make sense? And the insanity is in everything. You try to buy a CRM to help you with these systems, help you with the follow-up, and the CRMs are worthless. They can't do anything you need them to do. I made a guide to the top 9 mortgage CRMs available on the market. I made the guide because I bought the CRMs and I tried to build out my follow-up with them. Most of them could not do nearly any of the things that I needed them to do. They do tons of cool, flashy things that don't actually matter or help you close more loans, and then they barely do the one thing you actually need them to do, which is organize your leads pipeline and lead follow-up. Who am I? So I'm Steve Calabrese. I've been closing loans since I was 19 years old. When I first got my LO license, I moved to a market where I did not know a soul. And 36 months later, I had $50 million in residential loans closed. And I'm not trying to fool you into thinking I'm a $100 million a year producer. I'm not. I never will be because I don't like working very much. But I close a lot of loans and I work on loans for maybe an hour or two a day. Maybe, max. My NMLS is 79387. Look me up. My average loan amount is around 330 grand. I'm in a market that has 75% cash transactions. It's not an easy market by any means. So LO University. LO University is a 2-part program. Part 1 is we implement simple operational systems and a CRM you can actually use in your mortgage business. And here's the deal with CRMs. Anyone who just sells you a CRM is just trying to make a buck off you. You need to know how to tweak and build your CRM. You need to know how to alter and customize it to your specific business. A CRM without extensive training and support is worthless. We have a community of LOs building their CRMs on the same platform, sharing their tweaks, sharing their automations, sharing their workflows, their follow-up, their landing pages, their webinars. So a few dozen people building something is a lot more functional than you going out and trying to build something on your own on some random software. Now, I tried to do this by myself for years. I failed. My CRM is dialed right now because of the other LOs in my community. There is no sense in trying to do this by yourself. Once your systems are dialed and you can plug in a lead and out comes a closed loan, we implement part 2, which is implementing marketing systems that actually convert. I've been in every LO coaching program out there. I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this. Let me sum it up. They all teach the same thing. You compile a list of realtors in your market, then the program holds you accountable for spamming them every week. I'm not talking trash. A lot of them are great guys, but the big marketing principle that they teach around is interruption marketing. Our entire curriculum at LO University is based on permission marketing. Very different. So let's talk about what to do next. I believe the truth is not accessible for most LOs. I wish someone would have just told me this stuff, but no, I had to figure this stuff out over 9 years. I had to piece it together. I had to navigate all these coaches and programs and companies and CRMs. And really what usually happens is only the top producers ever really figure out what's going on. And I think that's BS. My mission is to get dialed systems to as many LOs out there as possible. So if what I'm saying resonates with you, book a 15-minute mortgage systems audit with me below. If it's not a win-win, I'll be upfront, but regardless, I'll help you audit your current operational and marketing systems and point you in the right direction. Talk soon and make sure you book that call below.